Hi everyone, welcome to Edu-Astro, and today we are back with our Karmic Numbers series. Last time we had covered the 16 by 7, and today is the 19 by 1, which has made its way. Today we are going to cover this in a very simple format as we have done before, only to announce the next series at the end of the video. So please do watch the video till the end. And we have Renu with us. Thank you very much, Renu, for joining once again. And let's carry on with the 19 by 1s. And before even starting, I can say one thing very for sure. 19 by 1, wherever there is 1, there is you, yourself, your personality, your ego, your selfishness, in the positive and negative connotations, side by side. So I think 19 by 1 would be more to be focused on yourself and to understand where do you take yourself from where you left from in the previous life, right? So with that, all yours, Renu. What would the 19 by 1s, love to hear from us?
As you said, Kabir rightly said, that all the karmic numbers need to learn to acknowledge, act upon, understand, and master their lessons. So, as I said before, the destructive path will feel much more comfortable since you have been there and done that. So, one has to break this loop of making the same mistakes again in each lifetime. So, the karmic number that we are going to talk about is 19 by 1. So, we'll start with the calculation first.
Yes.
Let's take the first date of birth, that is 9th April 1977. So 9 as date of birth, 4 is the month April, plus 1977. The total will come up to 24. If we reduce it further, it will come down to 6. So 9 plus 4 plus 6 makes it 19 by 1.
Yeah, so 9 plus 4 plus 6 is 19. And 19 right. Further reduced is 1. But you cannot take only 1. You have to take 19 and 1 both when you are looking at this number. Perfect.
Right.
So if you have a 19 by 1 in front of you, then just looking by at this number, what is the first thing which comes to our mind?
So number 1 being common in all the karmic numbers, karmic debt numbers. So number 1 in 19 means the ego, selfishness, self-centeredness carried by the person in the past lifetime. And 9 means the person must have spent a previous lifetime treating others badly. The person must have misused the power, wisdom, and spiritual knowledge. And the actions done by using all these things involved were all the actions which were done were extremely self-centered. So in this lifetime, you will need to make up for it in this one. So there are 2 ways that you will find yourself doing that. So helping others and letting others help you.
So if you were to look at it, in the previous lives, the work which would have been done by the person would have been more self-sufficing, self-suiting. And right. This time, he or she has to learn to balance it out and understand how to do it for others to make themselves complete. Okay, got it. Go ahead.
So if we look at the number 1, 1 is the number of beginnings and 9 is the number of endings, or we can say the completion number. 1 is the first number from which all other numbers are formed. 9 is the last number in the numerological spectrum, which contains the energies of all the numbers from 1 to 8.
Yeah.
So 1 is the number of the self and 9 is the number of acceptance. So 19 offers a major lesson, that is the self-acceptance. That is something that they have to work on, self-acceptance. This means loving ourselves fully and unconditionally. It means recognizing our potential and finding ways to fulfill it within this physical lifetime. So 1 takes and 9 gives. So what does that mean? I'll explain it in the later part when I say 1 takes and 9 gives, and 1 needs to have a balance between the both.
Yes, and I can understand where you're going, because if you have the two extreme numbers in your in your karmic number, on one hand 1 and one hand 9, right? And you are in between, so you will always need to just be in between and make the balance between the inner world and the outside world,
Right.
right? Yeah.
Right.
So what would be the focus areas these guys need to?
So, 9 number, or in total 19 by 1, where they have to focus on. So, 19 by 1, they are deeply connected with their loved ones, or their friends, or the people that they are working with. And they make sure that they provide proper assistance, support, and advice. So, even, as this something that they provide to others, the assistance that they provide, the same is applicable for them as well, because they have a strong instinct to do it everything all alone. They can do it, they don't need anyone's help. So this is something that they have to learn, to ask for help and accept it instead of resisting any help or an advice from other people. Very important for 19 by 1 to understand that it's not a weakness to ask for support. So,
Yes, that's very true, because wherever you have a sun and wherever you have a Mars, see, 1 is sun and 9 is Mars. We have already spoken about it, right? And whenever you have these two planets sitting together and the forces and energies of these working together in one personality, wherein it's actually a Rajyog, but you don't get your kingdom just by anything. You have to work towards it. And
right.
this itself tells you that your intelligence, your personality, your positive ego, your initiation, your action, all are important in balance to actually take you up and give you the throne. However, as a king is, a king has to ask for help from all the ministers and the army commanders and everybody in the cabinet. And it is never that only orders work. So a king
Right.
can't do everything alone. So this particular fundamental applies very, very profoundly to the 19 by 1s, that you can't do everything alone. And there is no issues in asking for help, because if you are asking for help, people are very willingly and happily going to help you, which not only makes you better, but collectively it takes everyone forward.
Right.
Super, super. Good. Go ahead.
And
Now,
the
yeah.
19 by 1, if we look at it, they are very much connected to people. As I said before, their loved ones and everyone. But at the same time, they need to learn to be humble, polite, compassionate, understanding to others' feelings. This is something that we have been talking about karmic debt numbers, that from all the karmic numbers, they have to work on this.
Yeah.
Then,
Because see, if Sun and Mars, they are afflicted somehow in the chart, automatically the
right,
negative areas of these energies and planets, they come up very profoundly. And that is when you will see the negative side of the ego, selfishness, and the negative side of leadership coming in to play, right? And that is what is the lesson to be learned by everybody. And specifically when Sun and Mars are your biggest planets in your number, your birth number or life numbers, 19 by 1,
right.
it becomes all the more important. Yeah. Right. And what
And it
would
is
be the
something.
the pitfalls which they should avoid?
Right. So, extreme stubbornness, because as I said before, that their lifelong lessons is helping others and letting others help you. So they might guide others, advise them, but they have to ensure that they stop dictating and controlling somebody's life at
Yeah.
the same time. Because this is something, an imprint which they are bringing in from their past life. So, as I said before, 1 takes and 9 gives. So, one needs to have a balance, that when you give an advice, but at the same time, stop, operating somebody's life. It is very
Yeah.
important. Extreme stubbornness, because they won't take advices. They don't want, even they need it, they don't accept somebody's help.
Yeah.
Secret lack of self confidence, being overly dependent on partners and relationships. maybe they are when there is a task given to them, they are so much engrossed in that completing that task, that they forget all about the needs and feeling of others that they need to take care of. They may place too much emphasis on their outward appearance. This is something that they have to work on, something that they need to be more grounded. They need to understand that it is not everything worldly that they look at, right? So it is more into working towards themselves inside.
Yeah, because if that is done, then automatically the other pitfalls which we spoke about, they get taken care of.
Right.
Working on themselves, improving their own personality, that becomes a very important part for 1 and 9. Very true. Yeah. Who are our famous personalities whom we can speak about or name?
Right. So the examples I'm going to quote now need no explanations. These personalities are inspiration to all of us, even few of them who are not around us, but still there you can feel their existence. So the example like Dhirubhai Ambani, Rabindranath Tagore, Munshi Premchand, Mary Kom. So no explanations required here.
And look at where these guys went from one stage to the other, right? Once upon a time, nothing to sometime at the top. Right? And 19 by 1 has the power to do that. Only that they just need to keep on working on themselves.
Right.
Very true. So if we were to conclude for our viewers and listeners in few lines, what would we say?
So sooner or later, when you come to know about the karmic debt through numerological calculation, start working towards it instead of resisting and following the same destructive path. I would give an example of a phoenix bird, right? Be a phoenix bird, face your fears and challenges, reconstruct and regenerate yourself to clear your karmic slate, which is very important.
Very true. Very, very true. And anybody who's carrying a karmic number, see, somehow, some point or the other, you will be having a karmic number, right? Either through a birth number or destiny number or personal year or this year or that year. Somewhere or the other, a karmic number, a karmic stage would come in the entire lifespan. Not at least once, but twice or thrice, right? And that is the period you will need to go back, restructure yourself, improve, come up, right? And that is why these numbers have been given to everybody, right? So you can take a step back, take a deep breath, restructure, reconstruct, go ahead. So that's the entire point. It's not nothing to be fearful of or too much worried. You should not be too much worried about it. What you just need to do is, whenever the time comes of this particular numbers in your lifespan, you can always go back, take a step, reconstruct. Only thing is that if you need guidance, obviously you can contact us at any given point of time. We will help you with that. This has been a great series, Renu, and pretty much good insights have come out from here. So with that, we will next start the series of our master numbers. Right. So next video onwards, we'll start our master numbers, and they are another set of numbers which are extremely beautiful and also at the same time extremely challenging. But we will explain how the beauty and the challenge is balanced in those numbers and how the life pattern moves. Right. With that, thank you very much for your time, Renu, and thank you everyone for liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Please continue doing that, and we will see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.